In this lecture, we are going to look at the concept of object inheritance in PHP. Inheritance is basically the ability for a subclass to inherit all of the public and protected properties and methods of a base or parent class. This concept of inheritance is actually built into some programming languages such as Java, where you have a base or parent class which is called object, and every other class that you create in a Java application actually extends the object class. It's basically a very simple concept. You have a base or parent class, and then you have a subclass which extends the capability of that base class. And based on the definition, the subclass can only make use of those properties and methods which are defined in the base class that are public or protected. Let's now see how we can implement this in PHP. I'm going to be using a different example to illustrate inheritance. We are going to create a class called animal, and then inside of this class we are going to have one property. It's going to be a public property. So I'm going to say public weight. So every animal has this property called weight, and then we are going to have two methods. The first method will be public function eat. This means that every animal can actually eat something. And inside of here, we can do a var dump and say all animals can eat. And then we want to create one more method. So be public function reproduce. So all animals can actually reproduce. Then we're going to do a var dump here and say all animals can reproduce. So right here we have our base class animals. We are now going to create another class which is called mammals to extend the functionality of the base class. We know that mammals are a type of animals. Create another class here. I'm going to say class mama. And for mammals, I'm going to declare a public properties. So I'm going to say public at rate or at bit. So we're going to say at rate. And then we are also going to create one public method for mammals. I'm going to say public function breed. And then inside of here, we can then do a var dump and say I can breed because I am a mama. Now, in order to tell PHP that mama is a subclass of the animal class which we created here, we need to use the extend keyword. So right here, I'm going to say extends. So mama extends the functionality of animal. This will automatically mean that every mama object that I create can inherit all of the public or protected properties that are defined inside of animal. So if you look at what we have done so far, it is still very generic. We have a class mama which extends animal, and then we have a base class called animal. But then we have various types of mamas. So we can still create other classes that actually extend mama. So let's create a dog class. So here I'm going to say class dog. And the dog class is actually going to extend the functionality of mama. So I'm going to say dog is a type of mama. So the moment that we do this, use the extend keyword to say dog is a type of mama, it means that dogs automatically have all of the things that are defined inside of animal, all of the things that are defined inside of mama, which are public or protected. And then inside of dog, we can still create our own public or private or protected properties and method. So let's say we want to define a color for the dog. So we say public color, and then we can come down here and create specific methods that corresponds to a dog. For example, a dog can bark. So I can say public function bark. And then we can just do a var dump here and say I can bark. Then here say because I am a, we can just get class name. And we can actually convert this to lowercase. So we can say string to lower, get class. What else can a dog do? We can say a dog can actually chase a rabbit. So we can create a public method here called chase, public function chase. And then we can do a var dump to say I am chasing a rabbit. And then right now, to actually make use of this, we can come down to line 41 here and then create a new instance of the dog class. So I can come here and say brown is equal to new dog. And then I can come down here and say brown weight. So let's set the weight for brown to be 7.3. Let's set the color for brown. So we can say brown color be equal to brown. And then let's say brown at rate or at bit. So that will be at rate. Should be equal to, let's just say okay. And then right now we can do a var dump on brown. Let's do a reload on the browser. And right here you can see that we have an object of the dog class. We've set the color to brown, we set the at rate to okay, and then we set the weight to 7.3. But if we look at the implementation again, right here in the dog class, we only have one property, which is called color. But right here, we can actually access weight, and then we can also access at rate. This is because those other properties are defined inside of the parent. So the first parent that we have here will be mama. It has the property at rate, and then we have the base parent, which is animal. It has the property weight. Because this is public and this is also public, we can actually access it inside of the dog object. And then we can also access all of the methods that are available to the parent classes. Okay, so let's just see how we can do that. So right here, we are going to echo out. So we're going to say echo brown weight. Then we can use the PHP constant. And then we can say brown color. And then we can say brown at rate. Make this more meaningful. And then here we can say the color, and then here we can say weight. And then on line 47 we can begin to call all of the different methods. So brown can actually bark because it's a dog, so we can call the bark method. And then what else can brown do? Brown can actually chase a rabbit, so brown can chase. Then what else can brown do? Brown can actually eat, because every animal can actually eat, and brown is actually an extension of the animal class. So we can say brown eat. What else can brown do? Brown can actually reproduce, because brown is an animal. And then what else can brown do? Brown can actually breed, because brown is a mama. So we can say brown breed. And then let's do a reload on the browser. Then we can see weight is 7.3, the color is brown, the at rate is okay, and then we have all of the other strings here. I can bark because I'm a dog, I am chasing a rabbit, all animals can eat, all animals can reproduce, I can breed because I'm a mama. So this is the basic concept of inheritance in object-oriented programming. Another thing that we can do, a subclass can actually override some of the behaviors of the parent class. So for example, let's come back again inside of our code. And then right here, brown can actually change the implementation of the breed method. As long as this method is public or protected, brown can actually change it. So let's come here. If I want to change the behavior of this method, what I can do is to actually create the same method inside of the dog class. So we can then say public function breed. Then you can see here and do a var dump and say I breed very fast. So brown is now creating its own implementation of the breed method, which belongs to all mama. This is called method overriding. We are changing the behavior of the default method to suit our specific implementation. So all dogs now inherit this method called breed, and then they have their own specific implementation. I breed very fast. Let's do a reload on the browser. And then you can see right now, I breed very fast.